My beloved, before you continue with your day, I need you to pause for a moment and listen carefully to my voice. There is a reason your eyes have been drawn to these words. There is a reason your heart feels stirred at this very moment. This is not an accident. This is not mere coincidence. I have confirmed that you are meant to receive this message because it is written for your heart. Imagine that I have placed a letter into your hands, one sealed with my love, my wisdom, and my promises. Many people pass by every day without noticing what I am saying. But today your heart has been awakened to hear me. I need you to understand that this message is personal. It is not meant for the crowd. It is meant for you, my child. I have watched you carry burdens that no one else fully understands. I have seen the moments when you smiled while quietly hiding your pain. I have seen the nights when sleep escaped you because your mind was filled with questions about the future. I have heard every prayer whispered through tears, every sigh that words could not express, and every silent cry that only I could hear. Never believe that your struggles have gone unnoticed. Never believe that your tears have fallen to the ground without purpose. Every moment has been seen by me, and every step of your journey has remained safely within my hands. Beloved, I need you to see this letter because you have spent too much time believing that you must face everything alone. You have tried to carry worries that were never yours to carry. You have exhausted yourself trying to solve problems before they even arrived. You have looked ahead with uncertainty instead of looking upward with trust. My precious child, I never asked you to live that way. I have always desired for you to place your burdens into my hands and allow my peace to become greater than your fears. Listen to me, beloved. The enemy has tried to convince you that because you have experienced delays, I have forgotten you. He has whispered that because certain prayers remain unanswered, I am no longer listening. Those whispers are lies. My love for you has never diminished. My attention has never wandered. While you have been waiting, I have been working. While you have been questioning, I have been preparing. While you have been wondering whether I was near, I have been surrounding you with my presence in ways you could not yet recognize. Think about Joseph, my beloved. There were years when he could not understand why his dreams seemed so far away. Betrayed by his own brothers, falsely accused and confined within prison walls, it would have been easy for him to believe that my promises had failed. Yet every difficult season was quietly preparing him for the place I had already appointed. The prison was not the end of Joseph's story. It was part of the journey that led him to his purpose. My child, there are moments in your life that feel like prison walls. Circumstances may seem to limit you. Doors may appear closed. Hope may feel distant. But I want you to understand that I am still writing your story. What feels like confinement today may become the testimony that reveals my faithfulness tomorrow. My beloved, I have confirmed that only you can truly receive this letter because I know exactly what your heart needs to hear today. Others may listen to these words, but I am speaking directly into the places within you that no one else can reach. I know the disappointments you have carried. I know the promises you have almost stopped believing. I know the dreams you quietly tucked away because you feared they would never become reality. Yet I have not forgotten a single one of them. I remember every prayer. I remember every act of faith. I remember every moment you chose to trust me when you could have given up. Beloved one, I want you to understand something that will change the way you see this season. You often measure my work by what you can immediately see, but many of my greatest works begin where human eyes cannot look. Consider a seed planted deep beneath the soil. For a long time, nothing appears to happen on the surface. Yet beneath the ground, Life is forming. Roots are stretching. Strength is developing. Growth is taking place in silence. My child, that is what I am doing in your life. Even when everything appears still, I am establishing roots of faith, courage, wisdom, and endurance that will support the blessings I have prepared for you. Do not be troubled, beloved. I know you have wondered whether you are falling behind. You have compared your journey to the journeys of others and questioned why their lives seem to move forward while yours appears to move slowly. But I did not create you to follow someone else's timetable. I created you with a purpose that is uniquely yours. Every season of your life has meaning. Every delay has purpose. Every challenge is shaping you into the person I created you to become. Trust my timing, because I see what you cannot yet see. Take heart, my beloved. This letter is not filled with condemnation. It is filled with hope. It is not meant to make you fearful. It is meant to remind you that you are deeply loved, carefully guided, and completely known. I have not brought you this far to abandon you now. The same hand that has carried you through every previous storm is still holding you today. The same voice that called you by name is still speaking peace over your life. And as you continue listening, I will reveal even more of what I have been preparing for you all along. My beloved, there is another reason I confirmed this letter for you. I know that lately you have been asking questions you have been afraid to speak aloud. You have wondered if you are making the right decisions. You have questioned whether the path you are walking is leading you where I desire. You have looked at certain disappointments and quietly asked, Lord, did I miss your plan? Listen carefully, my child. You have not slipped from my hands. You have not wandered beyond my reach. Even when you have made mistakes, my grace has been greater than your failures. Even when you have taken wrong turns, I have been able to redirect your steps. Nothing surprises me, and nothing is too difficult for me to redeem. Beloved, do not allow regret to become heavier than my mercy. There are moments you wish you could erase. There are words you wish you had never spoken. There are opportunities you wish you had not ignored. There are choices you would gladly make differently if you could return to those days. But I want you to hear this, my precious child. Your past does not have the authority to cancel the future I have prepared for you. My mercy is new every morning, and my love has never depended upon your perfection. I called you because I love you, not because you have never failed. Think about Peter, my beloved. He loved me deeply, yet in a moment of fear he denied even knowing me. By human standards, many would have considered his failure too great to overcome, yet I did not cast him aside. I restored him. I strengthened him. I entrusted him with a purpose greater than he had imagined. My child, if I restored Peter after his greatest failure, do not believe the lie that I cannot restore you. I specialize in redeeming broken stories. I bring beauty from ashes, hope from despair, and purpose from pain. Listen to me, beloved. I know that your heart has grown weary from waiting. Waiting can feel lonely. Waiting can test your faith in ways that few other seasons can. There are days when you feel hopeful, and there are days when discouragement quietly settles into your thoughts. But what you call waiting, I often call preparation. A builder does not place a roof upon a house before laying a strong foundation. In the same way, I will not place certain blessings into your life until the foundation beneath them is ready. I love you too much to give you something before the proper time. My child, there are people you have prayed for, whose hearts I am already touching. There are circumstances you believe are impossible, that I am already arranging. There are opportunities you cannot yet imagine that I am quietly preparing. You may not hear the sound of my work, but my hands have never been idle. Day and night, I continue to move according to my perfect wisdom. I am opening doors that no one will be able to shut, and I am closing doors that would have led you away from my best for your life. Beloved one, I need you to guard your heart against discouragement. Discouragement has a way of making tomorrow appear darker than it truly is. It whispers that nothing will change. It tells you that your prayers have accomplished nothing. It tries to convince you that your best days are behind you. But those thoughts do not come from me. I am the God of hope. I am the God who makes rivers flow through deserts and causes flowers to bloom in barren places. If I can transform the wilderness, I can certainly transform your circumstances. Remember Elijah, my beloved. After witnessing extraordinary miracles, he found himself exhausted and overwhelmed. Fear clouded his mind, and he believed he was completely alone. Yet I met him with gentleness instead of condemnation. I strengthened him when he was weak. I reminded him that my purpose for his life had not ended. My child, perhaps you have felt like Elijah. Perhaps your strength has been fading. Perhaps you have wondered how much longer you can keep going. Hear my voice today. I am renewing your strength. I am breathing fresh hope into your spirit. What has exhausted you will not define you. What has discouraged you will not have the final word. My beloved, this letter is also a reminder that you are never walking through life unnoticed. I delight in every step you take toward me. I rejoice every time you choose faith instead of fear, forgiveness instead of bitterness, hope instead of despair, and love instead of resentment. Even the smallest acts of obedience matter to me. They are not forgotten. Every quiet prayer, every unseen act of kindness, every sacrifice made out of love for me has been seen by my eyes. Take heart, my beloved. I am preparing you for a season where your faith will be rewarded in ways you cannot yet imagine. The tears you have sown will not be wasted. The prayers you have offered have not disappeared into silence. The trust you have placed in me will never end in disappointment. Hold tightly to my hand, stay close to my heart, continue seeking me each day, and I will continue leading you one faithful step at a time. Soon, you will begin to see that this letter was not only a message of comfort, it was the beginning of a new season of confidence, hope, and deeper trust in my unfailing love. My beloved, I want you to slow your thoughts for a moment and simply listen to my heart. So much of your strength has been spent worrying about things that have not yet happened. You have imagined outcomes that never came to pass. You have allowed fear to paint pictures that were never part of my plan for your life. My child, I did not create you to live in constant expectation of disaster. I created you to live in confident expectation of my faithfulness. Every new day is another opportunity to witness my goodness. Every sunrise is another reminder that my mercies are new every morning. If I have faithfully carried you through every yesterday, why would you doubt that I will carry you through tomorrow? Beloved, there are times when you ask me to reveal the entire journey before you are willing to take the next step, yet faith has never worked that way. When I called Abraham, I did not show him every destination along the way. I simply asked him to trust me. When I called Moses, I did not reveal every challenge that lay ahead. I promised my presence. When I called the disciples, they did not know every miracle they would witness or every trial they would endure. They simply chose to follow me one step at a time. My child, I am asking the same of you today. Trust me with the next step, and I will guide every step that follows. Listen to me, beloved. The enemy wants to keep your eyes fixed on everything that appears to be missing. He wants you to count every disappointment while ignoring every blessing. He wants you to remember every failure while forgetting every victory I have already given you. But I am inviting you to see your life through my eyes instead of through fear. Look at how many times I have protected you when you did not even know danger was near. Look at how many prayers I have already answered. Look at how many doors I have opened that no human being could have opened for you. Look at how many impossible situations became testimonies of my power. My child, if I have done all of that before, do not doubt that I will continue to be faithful. My beloved, I know there are wounds within your heart that have not fully healed. There are words spoken over your life that still echo in your memory. There are disappointments that occasionally return to your thoughts and make you wonder if you will ever be completely free from their influence. But hear me carefully. Those wounds are not your identity. Those painful moments are not your future. They are chapters in your story, but they are not the conclusion of your story. I am writing a greater ending than your pain could ever imagine. Think about David once more, my beloved. Before he wore a crown, he wore the garments of a shepherd. Before he sat upon the throne, he hid in caves. Before people celebrated his victories, many misunderstood him and questioned him. Yet every hidden season was preparing him for visible purpose. My child, if you feel hidden today, do not mistake hiddenness for abandonment. Some of the greatest preparation happens away from the applause of people. I often prepare my children in quiet places before I reveal them in public places. My beloved, I have also seen your desire to honor me. Even when you have stumbled, your heart has continued reaching toward me. Even when you felt weak, you still sought my presence. Even when your faith seemed small, you continued calling upon my name. Never underestimate what I can do with a heart that continues to seek me. I am not searching for perfection. I am looking for willing hearts that trust me. Your willingness to keep coming back to me is precious in my sight. I want you to hear this, my child. There are blessings approaching your life that will not only strengthen you but will also become an encouragement to others. The comfort I am giving you today will one day become the comfort you offer someone who is walking through a similar season. The peace I am teaching you today will become a testimony that inspires others to trust me. The faith you are developing now will one day help another weary soul believe again. Nothing you experience with me is ever wasted. I use every season to bring glory to my name and hope to my children. Beloved, stop believing that you must have everything figured out before you can experience peace. Peace is not found in having every answer. Peace is found in knowing the one who holds every answer. You do not need to understand every detail of my plan in order to trust my heart. A child rests peacefully because they trust their father, not because they know everything the father knows. In the same way, I invite you to rest in me. Let my wisdom become greater than your questions. Let my promises become louder than your fears. My precious child, I need you to see this letter because I am calling you into a deeper relationship with me. I do not simply want to solve your problems. I want to draw you closer to my heart. I do not simply want to remove every difficulty. I want you to know my presence so deeply that even in difficult seasons you remain confident that I am with you. The greatest gift I can give you is not merely changed circumstances. It is the assurance that wherever you go, my presence goes with you. Take heart, my beloved. You are entering a season where your confidence will no longer be built upon what you see, but upon who I am. You will discover a peace that circumstances cannot steal, a hope that disappointment cannot destroy, and a joy that the world cannot take away. Continue walking beside me. Continue listening for my voice. Continue placing your trust in my hands. For I have confirmed this letter not only to encourage you today, but to remind you that your future remains secure because it rests in the hands of a faithful and loving Father who will never fail you. My beloved, there is something I want to gently remind you of. because I know how easily your heart becomes discouraged when life does not unfold the way you expected. You often believe that every unanswered question is a sign that something is wrong. But I want you to understand that not every mystery is a problem to be solved. Sometimes it is an invitation to trust me more deeply. There are moments when I intentionally ask you to walk by faith instead of by sight, because faith allows you to experience my presence in ways certainty never could. If you already knew every answer, you would not need to lean upon me. But as you continue walking with me through uncertainty, you will discover that my presence is far more valuable than immediate explanations. My child, I know there are times when your heart has become weary from carrying expectations that others have placed upon you. You have tried to please everyone. You have tried to meet every demand. You have worried about disappointing those around you. And in the process, you have sometimes forgotten that the opinion that matters most is mine. Listen to me, beloved. I am not measuring your life by the standards of the world. I am looking at your heart. I see your sincerity. I see your desire to honor me. I see every quiet act of obedience that no one else notices. Never believe that your value depends upon the approval of people. Your worth has already been established because you are my beloved child. Beloved one, I also know that there are dreams you have quietly placed upon the shelf, because disappointment convinced you they would never come to pass. There were moments when your faith was vibrant and full of expectation, but after repeated setbacks, you began to lower your hopes in order to protect your heart from further pain. My child, I understand why you felt that way. I understand the disappointment that has touched your life. But I do not want disappointment to become the author of your future. I am still the author of your story, and I have not forgotten the dreams I planted within your heart. If I have placed something there according to my purpose, I know exactly how and when to bring it to fulfillment. Think about Sarah, my beloved. There came a time when the promise I had given her seemed impossible. The years passed, and hope appeared to fade. Human reasoning said it was too late. Circumstances declared that the promise could never happen. Yet I am not limited by human timing. I fulfilled my word at the appointed time because my promises are never dependent upon human limitations. My child, there may be areas of your life where you have quietly whispered, "Perhaps it is too late," but hear my voice today. Nothing that I have purposed for your life is beyond my ability to accomplish. I remain the God who specializes in making the impossible possible. My beloved, I need you to release the habit of measuring my faithfulness by your emotions. There will be days when you feel close to me, and days when you do not. There will be mornings when your heart overflows with joy, and evenings when you wrestle with uncertainty. Yet my faithfulness never changes according to your feelings. I remain constant, I remain near, I remain loving, I remain powerful. Just as the sun continues shining even when clouds temporarily hide it from view, my presence remains with you even when you cannot sense it as strongly as you would like. Listen closely, beloved. There are moments when I answer your prayers in ways that surprise you, because I see needs you have not yet recognized. You may ask me to remove a mountain, while I choose to strengthen your faith to climb it. You may ask me to change another person's heart, while I quietly begin transforming your own. You may ask me for immediate rescue, while I use the journey itself to reveal strengths within you that you never knew existed. Never assume that because my answer looks different from your expectation, it is any less loving. Every answer I give flows from perfect wisdom and perfect love. My precious child, remember Paul and Silas as they sat within the prison. Their circumstances gave them every reason to lose hope, Yet they chose to worship me in the darkness. They did not know exactly when deliverance would come, but they trusted that I had not abandoned them. At the right moment, I shook the foundations of that prison and opened the doors that no human hand could open. My beloved, there may be prisons in your life today that seem impossible to escape. They may be prisons of fear, anxiety, grief, financial pressure, or uncertainty. But I am still the God who opens impossible doors. I am still the God who breaks chains. I am still the God who brings freedom where others see only impossibility. Beloved, never underestimate what I can accomplish in a single moment. I can change circumstances that have remained unchanged for years. I can restore relationships that seem beyond repair. I can provide where resources appear exhausted. I can bring healing where doctors have exhausted every option. I can fill empty hearts with peace that surpasses understanding. Nothing is too difficult for me. Nothing is beyond my authority. Nothing is outside my loving care. Take heart, my beloved. This letter is not ending, because my work in your life is ending. In truth, my work is only becoming more evident. The seeds I have planted within your heart are beginning to grow. The prayers you have prayed are continuing to rise before me. The future I have prepared is steadily drawing nearer with every passing day. So do not become discouraged. Do not allow fear to steal your confidence. Continue walking faithfully with me. Continue trusting my timing. Continue believing my promises. And as you do, you will begin to see that every page of this letter has been leading you toward a deeper understanding of one unchanging truth. I have always loved you. I love you now, and I will love you forever. My beloved, I know there are times when you have looked back over your life and wondered why certain seasons had to be so difficult. You have asked why the road seemed longer than you expected. You have questioned why some burdens felt so heavy and why some lessons seemed to take so long to learn. My child, I understand those questions because I have heard every one of them. I have never been offended by your honest heart. I know that your questions come from a place that longs to understand my ways more deeply. But I want you to remember something today. There is a difference between not understanding my plan and believing that I do not have one. Even when my ways are beyond your understanding, my purpose remains perfect. Every step I have allowed has been leading you towards something greater than you can presently imagine. Beloved, I want you to stop seeing yourself through the lens of your past disappointments. Too often, you have allowed old failures to define your expectations for the future. You have assumed that because something did not work before, it never will. You have quietly prepared yourself for disappointment before giving yourself permission to hope again. My precious child, that is not how I desire you to live. Hope is not foolish when it is placed in me. Faith is not weakness when it rests upon my promises. The future I have prepared for you is not limited by what happened yesterday. I am able to do new things. I am able to restore what was broken. I am able to bring life where everything once appeared lifeless. Listen to me, beloved. There are moments when I intentionally remove certain things from your life because they cannot accompany you into the season I am preparing for you. Just as a gardener carefully prunes branches so the tree can bear even greater fruit, I sometimes remove distractions, unhealthy relationships, misplaced ambitions, and unnecessary burdens so your life can flourish according to my design. Pruning is not punishment. It is preparation. It may feel painful for a season, but its purpose is always growth. Never mistake my loving correction for rejection. Everything I do flows from my desire to see you become all that I created you to be. My child, I know that sometimes you wonder whether your prayers truly matter. You have prayed so faithfully that there are moments when words have become difficult to find. Yet every prayer you have lifted before me has been precious in my sight. Not one has been ignored. Not one has been forgotten. Even when the answer has not yet appeared, your prayers continue to accomplish more than you realize. They are drawing your heart closer to mine. They are strengthening your faith. They are preparing you to recognize my hand when the answer arrives. Continue praying, my beloved. Continue seeking me. Your persistence is not in vain. Think about Hannah, my beloved. For years, she carried the deep ache of unanswered prayer. Others misunderstood her sorrow. Some even judged her without knowing the burden she carried. Yet I heard every cry that came from her heart. When the appointed time arrived, I answered her prayer in a way that revealed my perfect faithfulness. My child, perhaps there are prayers you have almost stopped praying because disappointment has made your heart weary. I gently encourage you today. Do not stop believing. Do not stop trusting. Do not allow the passing of time to convince you that I have forgotten what I have promised. My timing is always perfect, and my love never fails. Beloved one, I also want you to release the fear of what others may think about the path I have chosen for you. Not everyone will understand where I am leading you. Not everyone will recognize the work I am doing within you. Some people will only see the outward circumstances, while I am focused on transforming your heart. You do not need everyone's approval when you already have my presence. Walk confidently in the direction I am leading you, even if others cannot yet see what I see. In time, the fruit of your obedience will speak more loudly than any explanation ever could. My beloved, I have placed gifts within you that are still unfolding. I have planted purpose within you that is still growing. Do not become discouraged because everything has not yet been revealed. A masterpiece is not completed with a single brushstroke. A beautiful symphony is not performed with only one note. In the same way, your life is unfolding one day at a time according to my perfect design. Trust the process. Trust the journey. Most of all, trust the one who is writing every chapter with wisdom, love, and eternal purpose. Listen closely, my child. There will come a day when you will stand in awe of everything I have done. You will remember the moments that once brought tears, and you will see how I transformed them into testimonies of my goodness. You will remember the seasons when you felt weak, and you will recognize that my strength carried you every step of the way. You will remember the waiting, and you will understand that every delay had a divine purpose. On that day, your heart will overflow with gratitude because you will finally see what I have always seen from the beginning. Take heart, my beloved. Continue walking forward with confidence. Continue trusting my voice above every other voice that seeks your attention. Continue believing that my plans for you are filled with hope and not harm. I am leading you toward peace instead of confusion, purpose instead of uncertainty, and joy instead of despair. Hold tightly to my hand, for I will never let you go. I have confirmed this letter because I wanted you to know beyond every doubt that you are seen, you are loved, you are chosen, and you are safely held within my everlasting arms. No matter what tomorrow brings, remember this truth. I will be there before you arrive, waiting to guide you with the same unfailing love that has carried you from the very beginning. My beloved, before you allow your thoughts to wander again, I want you to remain here with me just a little longer. There are truths I want to plant so deeply within your heart that no storm, no disappointment, and no voice of fear will ever be able to uproot them. The world is constantly trying to convince you that your value depends upon what you accomplish, how much you possess, or how others perceive you. But I have never measured you by those standards. From the very beginning, I have loved you simply because you are mine. Before you accomplished anything, I called you my beloved. Before you proved yourself to anyone, I delighted in you. Before you took your first breath, my love had already surrounded your life. Never forget that your identity begins with my love, not with your achievements. My child, there are battles taking place that you cannot always see with your natural eyes. While you focus upon visible circumstances, I see the spiritual battles unfolding around you. There have been moments when I protected you from dangers you never knew existed. There have been conversations I prevented from harming you. There have been decisions I redirected before they could lead you into unnecessary pain. There have been accidents I kept from happening. There have been disappointments that ultimately became blessings because I saw what lay ahead. My beloved, if only you could see how many times my angels have surrounded you, how many times my hand has shielded you, and how many times my mercy has quietly changed the direction of your life. Your heart would overflow with gratitude. You are far more protected than you realize. Listen to me, beloved. I know there are days when you wonder why life seems easier for others while your own journey feels filled with unexpected obstacles. Comparison has quietly stolen your joy more times than you recognize. You have looked at the blessings of others while overlooking the unique work I am doing within your own life. But my child, comparison will always blind you to the beauty of my personal plan for you. I did not create two identical stories. I have written your life with intentionality, wisdom, and love. The path I have chosen for you is designed specifically for the person I created you to become. Trust my plan even when it looks different from the journeys of those around you. My beloved, remember how I cared for the Israelites during their journey through the wilderness. They often focused upon what they lacked, instead of remembering how faithfully I provided for them each day. When they were hungry, I gave them manna. When they were thirsty, I brought water from the rock. When they needed direction, my presence went before them. Their circumstances changed many times, but my faithfulness never changed. My child, I am the same today. I am still providing daily bread for my children. I am still making streams in the wilderness. I am still leading those who trust me. What I did then reveals my heart today. I have not changed, and I never will. Beloved one, I know that sometimes you become discouraged because you cannot immediately see the fruit of your obedience. You have chosen integrity when dishonesty seemed easier. You have chosen forgiveness when resentment seemed justified. You have chosen kindness when others treated you unfairly. There have been moments when you wondered if those choices truly mattered. Let me assure you today that every act of obedience has eternal value. Every sacrifice made for my sake is remembered. Every decision to follow my ways is producing fruit, even if you cannot yet see it. Nothing done in love and faith is ever wasted in my kingdom. My precious child, I want you to release the burden of trying to control everything around you. You have carried responsibilities that have exhausted your mind and weighed heavily upon your heart because you believed that if you did not hold everything together, everything would fall apart. But my beloved, you were never meant to carry the weight of the world. There is only one who can hold all things together, and that is me. Place your family in my hands. Place your future in my hands. Place your finances in my hands. Place your health, your dreams, your fears, and your unanswered questions in my hands. The hands that created the stars are more than capable of carrying the concerns of your heart. Think about the little child who falls asleep peacefully in the arms of a loving father. That child is not awake worrying about tomorrow because trust has replaced fear. My child, this is the kind of confidence I desire for you. I want you to rest in my love with that same peaceful assurance. I want you to know that while you sleep, I remain awake, While you rest, I continue working. While you wait, I continue arranging circumstances according to my perfect will. You do not have to stay awake worrying about tomorrow because I am already there. My beloved, this letter is more than words upon a page. It is a reminder of the covenant of love I have made with you. I have not promised that your life would be free from every challenge, but I have promised that you will never face those challenges alone. I have promised to strengthen you when you are weak, comfort you when you grieve, guide you when you are uncertain, and uphold you when you feel as though you cannot take another step. My promises are not temporary. They are everlasting because they rest upon my unchanging character. Take heart, my beloved. The days ahead are not meant to be lived in fear, but in faith. Walk confidently, knowing that my presence goes before you, my peace surrounds you, and my love remains within you. Whenever you begin to doubt, remember this letter. Remember that I called you by name. Remember that I reminded you of my faithfulness. Remember that I invited you to trust me completely. And remember above all else that no matter where life takes you, nothing will ever separate you from my love. For you are my beloved child, and you always will be. My beloved, as you continue listening to my voice, I want you to become aware of something that you have overlooked for far too long. You have often focused on what still needs to happen, yet you have forgotten to celebrate how far I have already brought you. There was a time when you wondered if you would survive certain seasons, but here you are today. There were nights when you thought the pain would never end, yet I carried you through them one day at a time. There were moments when your heart felt so heavy that even getting out of bed seemed difficult, but my strength sustained you when your own strength was gone. My child, never underestimate the quiet miracles that have already taken place in your life. Some of the greatest miracles are not dramatic events seen by crowds. They are the unseen moments when I gave you the strength to keep moving, the courage to keep believing, and the grace to keep trusting me. Beloved, gratitude has the power to transform the atmosphere of your heart. When you begin to remember my faithfulness, fear begins to lose its voice. When you remember how I provided yesterday, you gain confidence that I will provide again tomorrow. This is why I want you to keep a heart that remembers. Do not allow the pressures of today to erase the testimonies of yesterday. Recall the prayers I have already answered. Remember the doors I have already opened. Think of the moments when you thought there was no way forward, yet I created a path that only I could make. Those memories are not simply part of your history. They are reminders of my unchanging character. Listen to me, beloved. I know there are people who have misunderstood you. Some have judged your intentions without knowing your heart. Others have spoken words that wounded you deeply. There are even those who walked away when you needed them most. My child, I know the pain that rejection can bring, but do not let the rejection of people convince you that you have been rejected by me. Human approval comes and goes, but my acceptance of you is eternal. I chose you before the opinions of others were ever formed. You do not have to prove your worth to me because my love for you has never been earned. It has always been freely given. My precious child, forgive those who have hurt you, not because what they did was right, but because I do not want bitterness to imprison your heart. Bitterness quietly steals peace, weakens joy, and clouds hope. Forgiveness does not mean pretending the pain never happened. It means trusting me to be the righteous judge, while allowing your own heart to remain free. As you place those wounds into my hands, I will heal places within you that you thought would remain broken forever. I am able to restore what pain has stolen and bring beauty where sorrow once lived. Think about the prodigal son, my beloved. After making choices that led him far from home, he expected rejection when he returned. Yet his father ran toward him with open arms. That story reveals my heart. Whether you have wandered through doubt, fear, disappointment, or even sin, my desire is always to draw you back into my embrace. I am not standing at a distance waiting to condemn you. I am watching the road with love, ready to welcome you, restore you, and remind you that you have always belonged to me. My mercy is greater than your mistakes, and my grace is deeper than your failures. Beloved one, I also want you to guard the words that you speak over your own life. Too often you have repeated words of defeat without realizing their effect upon your heart. You have said, "Nothing ever changes." You have whispered, "I am not strong enough." You have wondered, "Perhaps my best days are over." Those words do not agree with what I say about you. I call you loved. I call you chosen. I call you redeemed. I call you strengthened by my Spirit. I call you a person of hope. Let my truth become the loudest voice you hear each day. Speak life where fear has spoken defeat. Speak faith where doubt has tried to settle. Speak my promises until your heart begins to believe them more deeply than ever before. My beloved, there are blessings that I have prepared for you which cannot be measured only by material things. Some of my greatest gifts come in the form of peace that remains during the storm, wisdom that guides difficult decisions, courage that overcomes fear, and joy that rises even in unexpected circumstances. The world often measures blessing by what can be seen, but I often begin by transforming what cannot be seen, the heart, the mind, the spirit. As I continue changing you from within, everything around you will also begin to reflect my work. Take heart, my beloved. Every page of this letter has been written with one purpose, to draw you closer to me. I do not want you to merely hear my words. I want you to know my heart. I want you to wake each morning with confidence that you are deeply loved. I want you to face every challenge knowing that my strength is greater than your weakness. I want you to move into every new season believing that my plans are still unfolding, even when you cannot yet see them. Keep walking with me. Keep trusting me. Keep placing your hand in mine, and I will continue leading you into the future I have lovingly prepared for you since the very beginning. My beloved, I want you to understand that every season of your life has been held securely within my hands. There has never been a single day when I looked away from you. There has never been a moment when your name slipped from my heart. Even when you believed you were walking alone, I was beside you. Even when you felt surrounded by silence, I was speaking through circumstances, opening unseen doors, protecting you from unseen dangers, and arranging events in ways you could not yet understand. My child, my silence has never meant my absence. Many of my greatest works happen quietly, beneath the surface, where human eyes cannot yet perceive them. Listen to me, beloved. I know that your heart longs for certainty. You want to know how everything will unfold. You want assurance that every problem will soon disappear and that every unanswered prayer will receive an immediate answer. But I lovingly remind you that your confidence should never rest in knowing every detail of tomorrow. Your confidence should rest in knowing the one who already holds tomorrow in his hands. I have seen every moment of your future before you have lived a single second of it. I already know the victories waiting for you, the lessons that will strengthen you, the relationships that will bless you, and the opportunities that will reveal my goodness. Because I know the end from the beginning, you can trust me completely. My precious child, do not allow temporary circumstances to become permanent conclusions. Just because you are experiencing hardship today does not mean hardship will define the rest of your story. Storms eventually pass. Long nights eventually give way to morning. Winter eventually gives way to spring. In the same way, The season you are living through today is not the final chapter I have written for your life. I am still turning pages. I am still writing sentences filled with hope. I am still preparing blessings that will cause you to look back and marvel at my perfect timing. Think about Ruth, my beloved. There were moments when her future appeared uncertain. She had experienced loss, grief, and questions about what lay ahead. Yet even in those difficult days, I was quietly leading her toward redemption. She could not see the entire picture while she was gathering grain in the fields, but I already knew that I was preparing a future far greater than she imagined. My child, perhaps today you feel as though you are simply gathering small pieces, wondering whether your efforts matter. I assure you that every faithful step is leading you exactly where I desire. You may only see today's task, but I already see tomorrow's harvest. Beloved one, never become discouraged because your progress seems slow. Growth that lasts is rarely rushed. Consider the mighty oak tree. It does not become strong in a single day. Year after year, its roots grow deeper, until it can withstand storms that would uproot weaker trees. In the same way, I have been strengthening your faith beneath the surface. The patience you have learned, the wisdom you have gained, the compassion that has grown within your heart, and the perseverance you have developed through trials are all becoming deep roots that will sustain you for the blessings ahead. Do not despise slow growth. It is often the strongest growth. My beloved, I also want you to stop carrying guilt for things that I have already forgiven. When you sincerely come before me with a repentant heart, I do not continue holding your past against you. Yet too often you continue punishing yourself for mistakes that my grace has already covered. My child, if I have chosen to forgive you, do not keep condemning yourself. Walk in the freedom that my mercy has provided. Let go of shame. Let go of self-condemnation. Let go of the belief that you must somehow earn my love. You could never earn what I have freely given. My love is a gift, and my grace is sufficient for every weakness. Listen closely, beloved. I know that sometimes you feel unnoticed in a world that celebrates recognition and applause. You have wondered whether your quiet acts of faithfulness truly matter. But I tell you with certainty that nothing escapes my attention. Every kind word spoken in love, every hidden sacrifice, every prayer whispered in secret, every moment you chose integrity instead of compromise, every act of forgiveness, every expression of compassion, I have seen them all. The world may overlook them, but I never do. I delight in faithful hearts, even when their faithfulness is unseen by others. My child, I have not called you to live for the approval of people. I have called you to walk faithfully before me. There will always be voices telling you to chase success according to the world's standards. But my definition of success is very different. True success is a heart that trusts me. True success is remaining faithful when circumstances are difficult. True success is loving others even when it costs you something. True success is choosing obedience over convenience. When you live this way, your life becomes a reflection of my character, and that is far more valuable than temporary recognition. Take heart, my beloved. As you continue this journey with me, you will discover that my greatest desire has never been merely to change your circumstances. My greatest desire is to transform your heart until it reflects my peace, my joy, my compassion, and my love. As your heart changes, your perspective changes. As your perspective changes, your faith grows stronger. And as your faith grows stronger, you begin to see that every page of this letter has been leading you toward one beautiful truth. You are forever held by a Father whose love will never fail, whose promises will never be broken, and whose plans for your life are filled with hope, purpose, and everlasting peace. My beloved, as this letter continues, I want you to quiet every anxious thought that has been racing through your mind. There have been so many voices competing for your attention. The voice of fear has tried to convince you that something terrible is about to happen. The voice of discouragement has whispered that nothing will ever change. The voice of regret has attempted to keep you chained to yesterday, while the voice of uncertainty has made you afraid of tomorrow. But above every other voice, I want you to hear mine. My voice has always been the voice of truth. My voice has always spoken life where fear spoke death, hope where despair settled, and peace where confusion tried to reign. When you listen closely to me, every other voice begins to lose its power. My child, there are moments when you become so focused on reaching the destination that you forget I am also working through the journey itself. You pray for the miracle, and rightly so. But I am also performing miracles within your heart while you wait. I am teaching you patience that cannot be learned any other way. I am building faith that cannot be purchased. I am forming character that will sustain you long after the blessing arrives. Many people desire the blessing but resist the process. Yet the process is what prepares you to carry the blessing with wisdom, humility, and gratitude. Trust the work I am doing inside you, even when it feels slow. Beloved one, I know you have asked why certain doors remained closed despite your sincere prayers. There were opportunities you believed were perfect for you. There were relationships you hoped would last forever. There were plans you carefully prepared that seemed to fall apart before your eyes. My child, I understand the disappointment that followed, but I ask you to consider something. If you had walked through every door you desired, some of those paths would have led you away from the future I lovingly prepared for you. My protection often appears as disappointment before it later reveals itself as mercy. One day you will look back and thank me for the doors I refused to open because they would have taken you away from my best. Think about Noah, my beloved. For many years he faithfully built the ark while those around him failed to understand what he was doing. There was no visible evidence that the rain was coming, yet he continued obeying my voice. Day after day, board after board, he trusted what I had spoken even when nothing around him seemed to confirm it. My child, perhaps you also feel as though you are building something by faith while others question your obedience. Continue trusting me, continue building, continue believing. Just because others cannot see what I have shown you does not mean I am not preparing something extraordinary. Faithfulness before the miracle is what often prepares my children to recognize the miracle when it arrives. My beloved, I also want to remind you that your kindness has not gone unnoticed. There have been moments when you encouraged someone while quietly carrying your own burdens. There were days when you chose to forgive instead of seeking revenge. There were times when you gave generously even when your own resources seemed limited. Those moments were precious to me. The world often celebrates public achievements, but heaven rejoices over quiet acts of love that reflect my heart. Never think that your compassion has been wasted. Every seed of kindness you have planted will produce fruit in its appointed season. Listen to me, beloved. There is a temptation to believe that you must become stronger before you come closer to me. But I have always invited you to come exactly as you are. Bring me your weariness. Bring me your fears. Bring me your doubts. Bring me your questions. Bring me your brokenness. I am not intimidated by the parts of your life that feel incomplete. I already know every corner of your heart, and I love you completely. The more honestly you come before me, the more deeply you will experience my healing presence. You never have to pretend to be stronger than you are. My strength shines brightest in those who willingly depend upon me. My precious child, I want your heart to become anchored in my promises, rather than in changing circumstances. Circumstances rise and fall like the waves of the sea, but my word remains forever. Feelings may change from one day to the next, but my faithfulness remains constant. People may disappoint you, but I will never fail you. Opportunities may come and go, but my purpose for your life remains secure. Build your confidence upon who I am, not upon what is happening around you. When your foundation is my truth, no storm will be able to destroy the peace I place within your heart. Beloved, do not become weary in doing what is right. There are times when obedience feels costly. There are moments when choosing integrity appears to place you at a disadvantage. But remember that I see the end from the beginning. I know exactly how every act of faithfulness will be rewarded according to my perfect wisdom. Continue walking the narrow path. Continue choosing righteousness. Continue loving others. Continue trusting me when it would be easier to give up. Every faithful step is bringing you closer to the purpose I established for your life, long before you were born. Take heart, my beloved. This letter is not simply meant to comfort you for today. It is meant to strengthen you for the days ahead. There are beautiful moments waiting for you that you cannot yet imagine. There are prayers that are moving toward their answers even now. There are divine appointments I have already arranged. There are blessings that will arrive at exactly the right time. Continue walking with confidence, knowing that the one who began a good work in you will remain faithful to complete it. My love has carried you this far, and my love will continue carrying you until every promise I have spoken over your life has been fulfilled according to my perfect will. My beloved, before this letter comes to its final pages, I want you to settle one truth forever within your heart. I have never stopped pursuing you. Even during the seasons when you felt distant from me, I remained near. Even when your prayers became fewer because discouragement settled over your spirit, I continued listening. Even when you questioned whether your faith was strong enough, my faithfulness toward you never weakened. My love has never depended upon the strength of your emotions. It has always rested upon my unchanging nature. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever, and my heart toward you has never changed. Listen to me, beloved. You have spent too much time believing that you must carry every burden by yourself. You have tried to solve problems that only I can solve. You have allowed your mind to become exhausted by imagining every possible outcome. But I ask you today to lay those heavy burdens at my feet. You were never created to carry tomorrow before it arrives. I give strength for today. I provide grace for this moment. When tomorrow comes, my mercy will already be waiting there. Do not borrow the worries of a day that has not yet begun. Live in the confidence that I am already present in every tomorrow you fear. My child, I know there are dreams hidden deep within your heart that you no longer speak about. Perhaps you have been disappointed so many times that you are afraid to hope again. Perhaps you have convinced yourself that those dreams are impossible, or that they belong to someone else's story rather than your own. But I placed hope within your heart for a reason. If I have called you according to my purpose, then I will also provide everything necessary to fulfill that purpose. Do not confuse delay with denial. I am still working. I am still opening doors. I am still preparing people, circumstances, and opportunities that will arrive exactly when my perfect timing says they should. Beloved one, remember how I cared for Daniel in the lion's den. The danger surrounding him was real, yet my protection was greater than the threat. I did not remove Daniel from the den before the night began. Instead, I remained with him throughout the night until morning came. My child, there may be situations in your life where you wish I would immediately remove every difficulty. Sometimes I do. Other times I reveal my glory by remaining with you in the middle of the challenge until the victory becomes unmistakably mine. Whether I deliver you from the storm or sustain you within it, my faithfulness remains exactly the same. My beloved, I also want you to remember that I often answer prayers in ways that extend far beyond what you originally requested. You may ask for provision, and I prepare abundance. You may ask for healing, and I restore not only your body but also your heart. You may ask for guidance, and I lead you into a purpose greater than you imagined. Never limit my ability to bless you according to your own understanding. My thoughts are higher than your thoughts, and my plans are greater than anything your mind can fully comprehend. Trust that my answers are always shaped by perfect love and eternal wisdom. Listen closely, my precious child. There will be moments ahead when fear attempts to return and remind you of old failures. When that happens, remember this letter. Remember that I told you that you are forgiven. Remember that I told you that you are chosen. Remember that I reminded you that my grace is sufficient and that my strength is made perfect in weakness. Let these truths become the foundation beneath your feet. When fear knocks upon the door of your heart, answer it with my promises. When doubt whispers, respond with faith. When discouragement appears, remember every time I have already proven myself faithful. Beloved, there are people whose lives will be changed because you chose to remain faithful during seasons that were difficult. They may never fully understand the tears you cried in secret, but they will one day be encouraged by the testimony that grew out of those tears. The comfort you receive from me today will become comfort you offer someone else tomorrow. The hope I restore within your heart will become hope you share with another weary soul. I never waste pain when it is placed into my hands. I transform it into purpose. I transform it into compassion. I transform it into a testimony that points others toward my goodness. My child, continue seeking my presence above everything else. There will always be opportunities to chase success, recognition, and temporary achievements, but none of those things can satisfy your soul the way my presence can. Make time to sit quietly with me. Speak honestly to me. Open your heart without fear. Read my word with expectation. Invite me into every part of your day, whether the moments are joyful or difficult. The closer you walk with me, the clearer my voice will become, and the more confidently you will recognize my guidance. Take heart, my beloved. As you reach the closing pages of this letter, I want you to carry these words with you wherever you go. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not walking without direction. I am leading you, protecting you, strengthening you, and loving you every step of the way. The future before you is held securely within my hands, and nothing that concerns you escapes my attention. Continue trusting me. Continue believing my promises. Continue placing your life into my care. For I, the Lord your God, will remain faithful to you through every season, every valley, every mountain, and every new beginning until the day you see the fullness of everything I have lovingly prepared for you.